Hello, guys. I am back for night 2 of the relationship training, and tonight is seriously one of the most favorite components of this. I love teaching from the perspective of the law of attraction. And I am going to talk to you about how the law of attraction applies in your relationship. And if you've been trying to apply it to your relationship, why it's not working. So I'm going to just share this out. If you guys will give me just a second. If you are joining, please feel free to share this out. I would really appreciate it. And I'm going to give it just a few minutes for people to join. Let me see here. And when you join, please just let me know that you're here, so I am not talking to myself. I'm going to share this out to my group. For those of you that are joining the replay, hello and welcome. Tell me who is joining. Let me know, because I feel like I talked to myself. Where are you in the world? I am in Delaware. If you guys know Delaware, we were the first state to sign the Constitution. There you go, a little factoid for you. And one more share out. And like I said, if you're just joining, tonight we're going to talk about my favorite aspect about this, the law of attraction. I live and breathe creation. I love everything about energy. I love learning how you actually create your reality and how you actually have more power and control over what you're experiencing than you let on, and what you can do to actually help yourself, help your relationship, by applying the law of attraction. And I will be just a second. I will be here. We're going to do 2 more live trainings this week. We're going to do tomorrow night, and we're going to do Thursday night. So I'm not exactly sure. Just stay tuned and I'll let you guys know what that one is going to be about. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you that are just getting introduced to me, my name is Stacey Dykes. I am a relationship coach. I work with clients who know they're in the right relationship but are experiencing some turbulence. Maybe they're fighting constantly. Maybe they're constant conflict. Maybe they don't know how to move through that conflict. And what I do is I actually help them to get to the core cause of the conflict, learning how to heal it, and then moving forward to create more harmony, and hi, Crystal, and love in their relationship. I actually use and apply the law of attraction. I teach my clients the tools and the techniques that they need to take this through the relationship journey that they can apply over and over again. So welcome, guys. And I am so excited about tonight. I can't even tell you. So we are going to jam on the law of attraction and how that applies to relationships. So I want to just give you guys a little bit of overview of what my experience with the law of attraction looked like. I actually learned the law of attraction because of my relationship. It was in such a bad place that I was willing to look at anything. And I knew nothing about the law of attraction at that time. I was willing to look at anything that would help it. And what happened was I was opened up to this path of learning the law of attraction. And I really quickly started to understand it. I really started to get the concept of it, that we were powerful creators and we were playing with the universal energy, and I was manifesting some really cool things. When I knew that the law of attraction was real and how this all plays out with our energy and the fears we're holding, and it's all interconnected, I was in a lot of fear around my relationship, and we're going back 12 years. Okay. So I was in a lot of fear around my relationship. Didn't know if it was going to work out. Didn't know if it was going to continue. And I remember being in my old house. I was a hairstylist. I had a salon, and I'm standing in the salon, and I had just had the thought that I would like to do microdermabrasion on my face, which was really like an odd thing, but I just heard that it was a really, cool thing that would help your skin. So I'm standing in my living room. I had that thought about the microdermabrasion maybe a day or so before. I'm in total fear about my relationship, and I literally just can't take the fear anymore. It's so uncomfortable to hold this fear that I just decide to let go. Like, whatever happens, if my relationship falls apart, if we're not meant to be together, that's fine. I can't hold this fear anymore. I completely surrender. Within 5 minutes, I hear the doorbell ring, and I'm like, that's odd. I didn't have any hair clients. So I go to the door, and there's a girl there that had pulled up in this red Corvette. And I'm like, okay. So I open the door, and she walks in, and she has a pamphlet. And she's like, some of your clients thought that maybe you would be willing to help me. And I'm like, absolutely, because I'm a helpful type of person. What do you need? And she's like, well, I work for a Medi Spa about 30 minutes from here. Odd, right? So she drove 30 minutes. And they said that maybe you would be willing to like kind of advertise a little bit in your salon. I'm like, absolutely. Like, tell me what you do. So I'm looking down the list, and there is microdermabrasion. And I'm like, that's odd. Okay. Tell me a little bit about that. I've always wanted to try that. And she goes into it, and she's like, why don't you come in and I'll give you a free session? And in that moment, that's when I was like, my mind couldn't even wrap around. This woman literally just drove into my driveway and handed me this. This woman literally drove into my driveway and handed me this, which was probably like a $150 value, session or whatever. That's the moment that I got it, that the universe was responding to me, and that my fear was actually blocking things from coming into my life. Through this journey, I started to learn about the law of attraction, how it worked, and where we get tied up. As I have gone into relationship work and started to work with my own inner belief systems and, things that were blocking me in my relationship, and then working with my clients, I realized what people were missing. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what parts of the law of attraction you're missing if you're trying to apply it in your relationship. So let me know who's here. I want to just say hi to you guys. And I am just pulling up my notes because I will get off topic real quick. And if I don't find them, then that's okay. Maybe there's something better that's going to be said. Oh, okay. I just had them up. I apologize, guys. Usually. Nope. Okay. So apparently, going rogue, and we'll talk about whatever needs to be talked about. So, for those of you, let me know, show me some hearts if any of you have tried to apply the law of attraction, or you want to try to apply the law of attraction to better your relationship, to bring it more into harmony, to actually attract the relationship that you desire. Let me know if you guys have tried this, or if this is something that you want to do. Okay, awesome. So, I want to know, like, where do you feel like you get stuck? If you are trying to apply this, if you have been trying to use this on your relationship, where do you feel like you're getting stuck? I'll wait a few minutes. Okay. So through the law of attraction, we get what we're putting out, right? And one of the main pieces, this is the biggest thing that you can learn. This is like free information I'm giving you. One of the main reasons why it's so challenging to change our relationship is because underneath the surface, we are holding these bigger beliefs, subconscious beliefs. And I talked about that last night in my training, so you can go back and check that out if you haven't seen it. But I talk about subconscious belief systems. And we'll talk about that in a minute, Crystal. These subconscious beliefs that we're holding about ourselves. And when we are in a partnership, they are reflecting and mirroring back to us everything that we're feeling. They are like a huge mirror, and they will just keep reflecting it all back. And it's not until we actually take 100% ownership of what we are experiencing, what we truly believe, what our actions are, that we actually start to make a real change. So when I first started to apply the law of attraction, I was like, amazing, I'm getting all these cool things. People were bringing stuff to my house. I'm getting like free cookies and all this stuff. And when I really started to apply it on money and relationship, it was not working. And I could not figure out, I was like, I don't get it. I'm like meditating, I'm thinking positive thoughts, I'm like doing all the things. Why is this not working? When you set out to manifest something that you don't have any resistance to, it comes into your life. Boom. There's nothing in between there from when you ask to when you receive it. You're just completely open and you know that it's coming. In relationships, when you ask for a certain type of relationship, or when you're in a relationship or a marriage and you're asking it to be different, there is resistance in between there. Maybe you don't believe you're worthy of it. Maybe you don't believe you're good enough. Maybe you don't believe you're loved. There's resistance in between when you ask and what you're getting. So we're going to talk about what it looks like when you've been in this relationship and you've set up the pattern of this relationship. So when you come together, you don't have all this stuff active. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff comes up, it's completely active, and there's a pattern that's created. So without you having to go, or the tools going inside and going, okay, what is this about? What does this have to do with me? I'm willing to take full ownership. We create these patterns of conflict. Through the law of attraction, we continue that same pattern because we're looking at what is. So Crystal, that's like the part about staying positive and not going negative. As soon as your partner triggers you, you immediately go into that same pattern. Through the law of attraction, you keep recreating the same thing over and over and over. Does this make sense, guys? So it takes willingness to see what's beyond the conflict, see what is actually your responsibility. And a lot of times we don't want to take responsibility. We want to put it all off on them. Nope, it's their shit. I don't want to deal with it. It's all them. But when you are really actually stepping up into your full creative power, when you're stepping into your power to be a creator, you have to take 100% ownership. When you start looking at it and you're going, okay, I have a part to play in this. I'm creating this because it takes two people to argue. I'm not arguing with the wall. I'm arguing with this person, and I have created a pattern. So when you start to recognize this, ask yourself, what am I getting out of it? What am I getting out of it? Is it a need to be right? Because we can be attached to being right. And that was my thing. Like, I have to be right. Like, I want to be right. You're wrong. You did it this way, it's wrong. And there was a need to be right. So I would continue the conflict because I wanted to be right. I want you to say you were wrong, and I want you to tell me I was right. So you can be actually attached to wanting to get something out of the conflict. And through the law of attraction, you'll continue that until you're willing to break the cycle. You can be attached to wanting to be the victim. Oh my God, he's always treating me, or she's always treating me this way, and they always do this to me. You can be attached to wanting to be a victim and continuing that pattern. Are you guys getting this? Does this make sense? If you love this, please make sure you share it out, okay? You can be attached to, went right out of my head. Okay, it'll come back around. But just know that there can be a payoff. Like, you're getting something out of wanting this conflict to continue. There is a part of you that is like playing into it. And it takes a lot of like self-reflection to be willing to step back and go, okay, wait a minute. This is not how I want this. All my energy is focused here. I'm continuing this pattern. This is like a part of my creation, and I want to do something to change it. So, do you guys have any questions so far? So we're going to talk about what it looks like when you're creating these patterns, and how you can actually start to step out of them. And I want to make sure that there is no questions because I'm not seeing them come up. So just take a second and think about, what are you actually focused on in your relationship? Are you focused on what you do want? Are you focused on the type of relationship that you do want to experience with your partner? Are you focused on the good, positive aspects about them? Are you focused on like the negative stuff, the things that aren't changing? And I'm going to put this little side note in here because I need this to be very clear. The types of relationships that I work with are good relationships, solid relationships that are in just conflict and turmoil, that have what it takes to get through. I am not talking about toxic relationships that continue to stay in toxicity. No verbal abuse, no mental abuse, no physical abuse, okay? So I'm not talking about those. I have to make that clear because there's always somebody that misunderstands what I'm talking about. Okay. Crystal. I don't know what mine is not means. Trusting. So I'll let you reframe that so I can understand what you're saying. When you focus your energy on what you do want, and this is across the board with law of attraction, right? And creation. You can't stand in a place where you are and look at what is going on and continue to create the same thing and want it to be different. You have to start focusing your energy on what you do want. You have to start focusing your energy on what is working, what is good, because that is the vibration that you will start to attract in your relationship. Okay, Crystal, so there's a deeper core belief that's going on within you. And I would venture to say that you've probably had this theme. Trusting is a big one. Trusting that you deserve love, you deserve the right kind of relationship. And I'm not doing any psychic information here. I'm just giving you a little bit of core belief stuff. There's a lot of people that hold stuff about trusting their relationship, and it's really hard to be in a committed relationship when you are constantly in this, in the background, this fear that you don't trust your partner. And that'll continue to create that pattern until you are willing to go in and break it. Okay? Awesome. So that's the work that I do. I work on core belief work. I work on helping my clients go deep and figuring out where this stuff stems from, because it doesn't usually stem from the relationship that you're in. It goes back so far. We learn how to clear that old attachment and move forward so that you can move into a place where you're trusting, where you can finally feel like the future is open and you're not constantly stuck in this old rut of something falling apart. Because I've been there, I know what it feels like. It's a really bad feeling. And it takes this inner work consistently to clear that old stuff and create what you do want. So going forward, looking at what you do want. What is the type of relationship you do want? How do you want to feel? What do you feel like in that relationship? Is it in harmony? Is it loving? Is it adventurous? What part of you wants to experience that? When we are in our relationship and it's in conflict, it's really, really easy to just get locked in that reality of this isn't getting better. I don't know what to do. He or she is constantly doing this and I don't know how to move through it. And you just continue through the law of attraction to create that same pattern. When you are willing to step out and do this in a place when you feel good, so let's say that you wake up in the morning and start doing some gratitude work. What are you grateful for? Is your partner good at taking the trash out and you don't have to do it? Are they good at putting gas in your car? Little things. Because right now, when you're focused on the conflict, that's where all your energy is lasered into that. So what you're doing is you want to back your energy out and start to expand it into what you do want. So what are the things that make you happy about your partner? There's a reason why you came together. And if this is the person that you desire to be with, and you know on a deeper level this is a good relationship that has what it takes to be what you desire, then, and I always preface this, I always want to say that you already know. You already know within you if this is a good relationship. Your inner guidance is telling you. You already know if it's not a good relationship. Your inner guidance is telling you, like, this is not right for you. And I don't want to get into that. I trust that my clients know that they're in the right relationship and they need help just moving through this part that's like got them like tied up, because I've been there. I know all of this that I'm talking about. I've experienced it and I've come through it. So going back to creating gratitude for what is going good in your relationship, starting to focus on that. What is going good in your relationship? What does your partner do that's amazing? Like, what sets them apart from other people? Are they committed? Are they really good with your children? Do they cut the grass? Do they go shopping? Do they go pick up things for you when you ask them? What is good about them? Because we get so involved in this focus of what is not working. That's the energy we start to create. And so it creates more and more and more and more of that until we just break our relationship down and there's nothing left. I'm glad that this is resonating with you guys. So as you start to shift your vibration, as you start to shift your focus on what is working, it's easier for that vibration to start increasing. So maybe the first day you find 5 or 10 things and you can write them out. Writing is so powerful, getting it out of your head onto a physical piece of paper. I am so grateful that my partner shows up for me or is supporting me or is taking care of my child or goes and runs to the store and grabs dinner for us or whatever it is, like the littlest thing that makes your life easier. And as you build that list and as you continue to do it day in and day out and you're focusing your energy on that, it through the law of attraction, you'll find more and more things about them that you like. Oh, man, I really like that they like the same music I do. Not in my case. My husband and I have different tastes in music. I really like that, we have common interests or whatever. You will actually start to collect more and more and more thoughts about what is going right in your relationship. And here is what you want. As you do that, you are going to start to see these little shifts in your relationship. You're going to start to see that little shift where your partner does something. Maybe they give you a little bit more of affection. Maybe they come in and give you a kiss or they say something nice to you. You'll start to see the vibration turn and you'll start to see the actual manifestation of that. Does that make sense, guys? You will actually see as your focus changes, you are that powerful. As you choose to focus on something different, as you choose to focus on what is working, as you choose to focus on their good qualities over and over and over, you will start to see the little shifts in manifestation. And as you continue to do that, you will pull your relationship into a more harmonious place. Now, do you guys have any questions? I want to make sure you don't have any questions. Doesn't like okay. I'll give it a minute. I go into more detail about this in my new course coming up. I have just designed an 8-week course. I have been feeling like I should be doing a relationship course forever, and I resisted, and finally I'm like, it is time. I am 7 months pregnant, for those of you guys that don't know. So this is going to be a one-time live run this year. I won't do this again until probably 2018 sometime. But I knew that there were relationships out there that were so good, that had the, like, what it takes, that just needed the tools and some people to guide them to help get through this turmoil, this conflict. I wish I had this 4 years ago. Well, we're going on our 7th year anniversary in November. I wish I had this, 8 years ago. I wish I had this when I was struggling. I wish I had this, after we had gotten married and I was still trying to figure it out. I wish I had all these tools. So I've created this 8-week program designed to do exactly that, help you figure out what is your stuff, what are these core belief systems that you're holding, how to break through them, how to own your energy and your stuff, and how to separate out what's your partner's stuff and not be triggered by them and go, that's yours, dude, like, or, you know, whatever, sister, like, that's your stuff, you need to deal with it. This is my stuff and this is what I'm creating. And learning how to harness the power of the law of attraction to create what you desire, giving you everything that I've learned over the last 7 years, actually 12, through my learning journey, but through my personal work and through my work with my client, my one-to-one clients, and taking this from a relationship where my marriage was literally like on the verge of divorce. Like, it was coming, and it had happened a couple times. And it was like we both knew in that moment, like there was something that we just knew it, this wasn't the right, it wasn't the right path. We both knew that the divorce was not the right choice, but I did not know how to get through it. I did not know what was happening. And that's when I was guided to go deeper and figure out like more to the story of what I was looking at, what I was seeing, what I was feeling, acknowledging things that were within me, my belief system. Like, I didn't feel like I was loved. I didn't feel like I was worthy. I was sabotaging our marriage on my end because I constantly was pushing him away. I was constantly trying to see how far I could push him if he would leave me, which was a part of my inner belief systems and creating conflict. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, I'm going to pop the link right in here, and you can check out the sales page. Like I said, this is going to be a one-time live run. I'm not going to do it live again until sometime in 2018, depending on how I learn how to balance 2 children. I have set this beta price because this is like the first run, and it is incredible deal. Like, I can't even tell you guys. So you're getting 8 weeks. The reason why I chose 8 weeks is because I've done 4-week courses and I've done 6-week courses. I've ran 4-week courses. I've ran 6-week courses. I've done 6-week courses. And I feel like at the 6-week mark is when you start to finally get the breakthrough. Those 2 extra weeks are a little bit more of a cushion to kind of get you into anchoring in that new energy of what you've created. You're going to get 4 bonuses. You're going to get a heart clearing meditation. You're going to get energetic clearing on the belief systems of I'm not worthy, I'm not enough. You're going to get a surprise bonus. This mind shift literally shifted my life in minutes. It's that crazy, stupid, empowering. And if you sign up before September 20th, you are actually going to get a 1-to-1 30-minute call with me. So those are all the bonuses that are included in the 8 weeks. The bonuses are alone or over $800. I have priced this out at $399 because I wanted it to be affordable. I wanted people that were actually like really wanting to have the tools and techniques that they needed to heal their relationship to be able to get in, like, without any worry about money. It'll be live, Crystal. This will be live. So you're going to get, each week, you're going to get the module. You're going to get a live call in the group where you can get your personal questions answered. I'm going to be in the group every day. I'm going to be giving you the tools. You're going to be working through what's coming up. I'm going to help guide you through where your blocks are. So it's all live. Yep. So this is the first time I'm going to run it live, and it won't be run live again until 2018. Okay. So we're going to go into this. This is one of the modules because law of attraction is a part of who we are. Like, this is from the platform I teach. I actually started out as a life coach that taught law of attraction. So as I moved into relationships, it only made sense for me to bring my law of attraction understanding into relationships and teach people how they're actually creating what they are experiencing. And relationships are a biggie, right? We all desire to be in love. We all desire to be in a harmonious relationship. And when we are not, and we can't figure it out, we are like, what is going on? Like, why can't I figure this out? This is so frustrating. It was so frustrating for me because I'm psychic intuitive and my inner guidance was telling me that this was the relationship I was meant to be in. But I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, you want me to stay, but this isn't working. Like, give me what I need to figure out. So that's when I learned this inner conflict that I was holding and how it all was playing out in my relationship. So I want to open up any questions that you have, and I have a little bit of time. If you want me to tap in, I can tap into more of what your conflict is in your relationship. We have a little bit of time since there's not a lot of people on live. So any questions that you have, and if you want to share a little bit about what's going on in your relationship, I can tap in. And I will give you just a minute to put your questions in there. So just let me know, guys, if you have any questions pertaining to your relationship, if you want to know kind of more of what's going on in the story. I'll give you a little background. My skill set is I read timelines backwards. So most psychics read their timelines forward. They actually can read like the probability of the future events. So energetically, when we are getting our energy read, a psychic is reading the probability of what possibilities you have in this future timeline. I actually am unique in that I tap in backwards. I go back into your timeline to figure out what core belief systems have been created through trauma, through life experiences, through childhood trauma that haven't been healed, that are actually continuing to ripple out into your current relationship. And I help to heal from that point forward. So I do a lot of inner child work. I do a lot of helping you to tap back in. I do a lot of forgiveness work. Okay, Crystal, hold on one second. I'm going to pull your energy in really close to me. Okay, so the first thing I got is, and let me know if this is true, if I do definitely have your energy. Like, there is a feeling your dad left your mom, and I feel like a lot of desperate energy from you, like needing and wanting somebody to love you. Like you need and want him to love you. So there is like a huge wall between you and him. Does that make sense? I'm just waiting for you to respond to let me know if that was accurate. Okay. So there's something I saw here about like a man leaving your mom. But what I really felt was like this desperate energy of like feeling needed to be loved. Okay. I don't know why that came up. Was there somebody significant that like left your life? Was there a man that like left your life? Okay. So that is attached. So I don't see like specifically like this is mom named Fred. This is dad named Mary. I don't see that. I just get images. Okay. So whoever this significant person, male figure leaving, there is a feeling in there that's still connected, and there is a desperate feeling of you needing to feel loved, and you're like trying to drag it out. Your partner's not responding because he can't give it to you. And that's like one of the biggest things that we're going to learn through the 8-week program is the self-love piece. This is the hardest thing for people to learn. It is the most empowering. We desire for other people to love us. I need you to make me feel loved because somewhere within me, I don't feel it. And I need you to make me feel it in a certain way. And if you're not making me feel it in that certain way, then I don't believe it. Okay, does that resonate? When you're able to heal that part of you from the past that is desiring and looking for love, that feeling of needing it to be with your partner will leave, and he will be completely free to be in his own power. It's what happens is you start holding your own vibration of love. You feel love within, and then you radiate it out, and your partner responds in that loving feeling. I know this story like the back of my hand. Does that make sense, Crystal? Okay. Okay, hold on, Katie, 1 second. Okay. So, Crystal, what needs to be healed is whoever the significant person in your life that left, there's a feeling of this person leaving. There's a feeling of men leaving. There's something there connected. I didn't really super tap in, but that's connected. And this feeling like that you're looking for love. This is a core belief system. I'm not worthy of love, or I'm not loved on some level. When you can heal that, that will start to help you heal and clear this. I'm not even joking, you guys. This was a part of my pattern. My core belief system was I did not feel loved. I didn't feel worthy of having a good relationship. And so when I first met my husband, it like opened everything up, and I was in like this amazing loving feeling. And then all of a sudden I like closed down, and I couldn't figure out why. It was like, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel right. Like he doesn't love me, and I'm constantly looking for love. When I realized that the love that I was looking for was in me, I started to fall back into love with my husband because I wasn't looking or needing it to be from him. It was from within me. And then we were back into that vibration. And this is a perfect place to be in because then you have the tools. That's why they call it falling in and out of love. But a lot of people don't have the tools because when you fall out, you're like, okay, it's over. Gotta leave now. But when you learn that it's actually coming from within you and you can pick it back up and you can do your own stuff and you can learn. So like I'm literally like in love with my husband, where there was a time when I was like, I just don't like you. I just don't like you. So it is completely possible. I want you guys to know that. Perfect. Okay, Crystal. All right, Katie, let's pull your energy in here. I know this doesn't mean anything. It's just me like pulling her energy in. It doesn't mean anything. It's just me creating, like, this is what I'm doing. I'm pulling Katie in here. Okay, Katie. So there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to look there. I'm asking you and I'm not going to push you. There's a part of you, there was something that happened very traumatic in your childhood. I feel the desperation that you're feeling. I feel like you not wanting to be hurt again. So whatever was this big trauma in your past needs to be healed. That is what's calling in the people that are not resonating with you, the people that are leaving you. All of this stuff in the background needs to be cleared and healed. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Crystal. Katie, does that make sense? That actually made me nauseous. So there's like a lot there. God, I feel like so much emotion from you, honey. Okay. So I want you to know, moving forward, you are only going to continue to call in the same type of person because this is this desperate energy. I have a glimmer of what happened. We're not going to talk about it. But whatever was back here in your childhood that has not been fully healed, whatever you're hanging on to, this needs to be healed so that When you are completely healed, you will bring in that person that's matching you, that is not in desperate energy, that is not in any kind of abusive energy. They're coming to match you because you are in power. You are completely empowered for who you are, and you are calling that person in to say, you will meet me here. Does that make sense? I just want to I want you to acknowledge that I know how much pain you're holding. I know, I feel it in my solar plexus. Okay, guys, do you have any other questions? Let me know. Hi, Kelly, if you're still here. I saw you pop on. I never get to see you. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any more questions. I'll hang out for as long as I need to. Or until my daughter kicks the door in. Hey, Carrie, how are you? I want to make sure there's no comments because it's not like live, like real time for whatever reason. Okay. So for those of you guys that are just joining, I was talking about the law of attraction, how that applies to relationships, what you can do to improve it. If you miss it, please make sure you go back and watch the replay. And we are talking about, right now I'm doing a little bit of psychic live information to help people figure out what is actually going on. What is the conflict that's really being caused in the relationship underneath the surface? Hi, Dorothy. Nice to meet you. Good, Carrie. Yes, perfect. So do you guys have any questions? I can do a quick recap. I'll stay on for probably about another 10 or 15 minutes. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the comments. What is going on in your current relationship where you feel like you're having some conflict, you're not knowing how to move forward? And I'll do a little quick recap on the law of attraction and how you can actually use that into your relationship. So, excuse me, it takes more than just positive affirmation and happy thoughts, right? Because that's not working. If you've been trying that for, months or years and it's not working, there's something more that's going on. When we are trying to apply the law of attraction with relationships or money, there is always an underlying subconscious belief system that's active. I am not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I'm not loved. I'm not worthy of love. I can't speak my truth. I'm afraid to be abandoned. There's all these core belief systems that are working under the surface. Subconsciously, that is what you're vibrating out. And that's the same with money. Any of those belief systems that you're holding that are under the surface that you truly, truly believe, like, I don't deserve to have a good relationship, or, relationships are meant to be hard. Any of this stuff that you're really holding under the surface, that's the true vibration. So unless you actually go in to clear that subconscious belief system, it doesn't matter. You can affirm that my partner, we are in a loving, happy relationship and we're so happy and oh my God, it's just sunshine and rainbows like in our house all the time. No fly. Because the vibration that you're sending out, what you really truly believe is, I don't deserve to have this. I don't know how I can have this. I don't deserve to be loved. I'm going to sabotage it. This is all in the subconscious, and this is what needs to be cleared. And once you really start to clear from that deeper perspective, then the relationship starts to change. What are you actually focused on in your relationship? Are you focused on what is working, or are you focused on what is going wrong? Because chances are, if you're in conflict, you're focused on the conflict. You're focused on what your partner's not doing. You're focused on what you don't like about them. You're focused on how you want it to change and it's not. When you actually start to put your energy and focus on what you do want, and you do that consistently, you'll start to see things shifting because that's the energy that you'll be attracting. Okay. Nope, Dorothy, it is perfectly in alignment that you're actually finding me right here in this moment, because we think that when we go through our lifetime, oh my God, that happened so long ago. That has no effect on me. It does. So we are made up of not just this physical body. We are made up of energy. We are made up of emotion, and we're made up of a mental construct. So we're multi-layered people. When we were children, we didn't have the tools to go, oh my gosh, like, okay, I know that that was not something you really meant to say to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to take this on and carry it with me. No, as a child, you just took it on, stuck it right there, and you just continued on your way. And it was never healed. It was never addressed because as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever age child, you didn't have the skills. You didn't have the communication to be able to say, look, that really hurt my feelings and I don't appreciate that. So it's not until you start to become older and aware that you go, whoa, I can't believe I'm still holding on to this. So when we are actually going through this awakening and awareness and learning how to heal, we heal on multiple levels. We heal in the energetic level, so any energy that's attached to that time and space. Emotionally, so any emotions that are still attached to that, the hurt, the fear, the revenge, the rage, the anger, the disappointment. And then we also heal our physical body, so we release all these things as we're moving forward. And I teach that in the 8-week course. Does that make sense, Dorothy? So there's 2 things that you can do right now to actually start to address it. Number 1 is journaling, getting your thoughts out on paper. When my dad said that, this made me feel X. I feel like in that moment I was not loved, or whatever it was. I don't want to fill in the blanks for you. To journal as much as you can, to get those feelings out on paper and look at it and go, why am I still holding on to this? Why do I feel like I still need to hold on to this? The second thing is EFT. I don't do traditional EFT. You can actually find YouTube videos about it. With my private clients, we actually do an advanced technique that my coach taught me where we'll tap on the emotion, and we tap until we actually figure out why we're holding on to it. So I pick one point on the meridian. If you don't know anything about EFT, it's basically like acupuncture without the needle. So you're tapping on